Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Lelima Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Already shuffled. We're going to do relationship first, single second, and the oracle cards come out as necessary. Nine of Wands. And the Two of Swords, forcing its way out. Alright, we'll keep these in mind. A lot of times the Nine of Wands is kind of like first phase in a plan. It's kind of like, almost like the completion of the first phase of, like, you know what I mean, if you're making bread, it's just kind of like, I got all the ingredients, phase one done. Then you got to go into phase two, you know what I mean, all the phases. Same situation, just going through the phases. So, what I like on your side is the Ace of Cups in your spiritual position. Love is not a question here. Loving your partner and having heart full of love feelings, wanting things to work out, wanting care to happen here. You definitely care what happens. You know, what affects them and how things affect them means a lot to you, but you're also going to make sure you're also taken care of in the situation as well. Alright, so we're good with that. I also see with the High Priestess, balancing out what's fair. In the sense of like, alright, I'm willing to give in and do a few things that I don't really want to, but you know what, you got to give in a little bit too. We're going to move forward in a good direction, but we're both going to sacrifice equally. And I feel like that's what the High Priestess is showing up in your reading for, kind of like you're standing there like, I will give in. I will do some things I don't really want to do, but you're going to have to too. This will work out for the best, but we're both going to have to sacrifice a bit. That's the energy I'm feeling. I feel like, though, when I got the Two of Swords at the bottom, or popping out, or forcing its way out, it's like figuring out a way to make this really work out where one person isn't getting slighted. That seems to be a challenge for some reason. Especially because I feel your partner with the Hanged Man, where they're standing, they seem to be just kind of like not sure what to do, not really wanting to move. Kind of a combination of the two, either not sure or not wanting, probably a combination of the two. Not really sure where to go with this situation, but not really wanting to really work at it at the moment. I'm getting kind of a stubborn attitude, to be honest with you. I am getting the stubbornness of the King of Pentacles at the moment. And a lot of times, if the King of Pentacles is not moving and seems to be a bit stubborn, it's because his predetermined, her, they, whatever this person may be, don't get caught up in the gender, whatever the predetermined direction that this person wanted to go in, it's not happening. That could cause that response to this energy. It's not a bad energy, but when it's not going as planned, that's when it can kind of like, just kind of get a bit stubborn, just kind of stick in a rut, just like, just not going to do it. Now, I see you coming towards your partner with the Knight of Swords. Let's talk it out. You're initiating the conversation, which is good. I think, you know, how are things going to fix if somebody doesn't start a conversation? This may be one of those things where the conversation starts, you kind of get the ball rolling, but, you know, it's like you're talking to a post. I don't mean to be rude, but that's kind of how it feels. I think that's how it feels, but in truth, the other person realizes they only have so long they can actually hold their ground. Although we tell that to the King of Pentacles, he might be like, he, she, they, whatever, may be like, well, you may think there is only a certain amount of time I can hold this ground, but I might be able to shock you with that. Stubbornness is quite strong in this situation. So, when you're coming towards this person, if you're not aware of it, which you probably are, but if you're not, you're going to have to use a bit of honey, a bit of sugar to really get them to open up to at least conversate about it. You might have to be a little bit kid glove-like. A lot of honey, a bit of sugar. Sugar? Why not? And the thing is, you do have a lot of love. You do have a lot of love for this person. I just feel like you might be like, well, today it's going to be tough love. I feel like you might be a little aggravated because you're like, listen, fair is fair. No, you're going to give too. I've been giving. No, you need to give too. if they're not feeling that way, you could be as right as rain, but if they're standing there and they're like, I'm not moving, I'm just not, nope, not hearing what you're saying, it's kind of like you're talking to a post. I'm sorry, but and it has nothing to do with their intelligence or anything like that, but I feel like if they're really shutting down, which I feel like they may be, that's the effect you're getting. Your challenge card, which may help you a lot. Queen of Cups. Trying to just be more caring. And it's not like you don't, so I want to be careful how I say this. You definitely care, but a bit of sweetness, a bit of honey. Really just kind of like, it's almost like, spending some time with this person, and maybe just spending time and reminding them how much you love them, and trying to get them a little bit more loosened up, like working with a piece of cold taffy. You got to work at it for a while before it really gets malleable. You might have to work at it for a while, so you might have to hang out with this person a little bit more than usual. Do a couple things that they like. Soften them up a bit so they talk a bit more. Just let them know, I just want to talk. Let's just talk it out. I'm not saying any decisions, not about decisions, just talking. I just want to talk about it with you. A bit of honey, a lot of sugar. Got to work on that taffy. Like, there's no, I don't know, they're just, the thing with the King of Pentacles energy, if things are not going as predetermined, that's when you get that moment where they're just kind of like, and they might just shut down all community, not seeing it, not hearing it, not talking about it, like the hear no evil, see no evil, say no evil, like, nope. You might get that moment. More than likely, if this reading is hitting with you, you're going to get that moment. Once you kind of get them softened up a bit, this goes in stages, which we saw here with this card. This is going in stages. The first thing they have to do in their challenge card is to not see this as a total loss for where they originally wanted things to go. But they are going to be having a degree of the Three of Swords where they're disappointed and they're heartbroken about what has to happen next. This was not where they thought things were going to go. Even if it wasn't something verbally said, they felt this was going to go a different direction. They're not happy where it's going. Either that or they didn't see the actual destination for what it was, and now that they do, they don't like it. The trick is for them to not see it as a total loss, to not concentrate on what they've lost, but to realize what they still have and how they can still gain from the situation. That's like, after you get them talking, they have to go through that phase. It's kind of like a mourning phase. It's kind of like grieving. It feels like grieving to me. Whatever the situation is, it's taking your partner a while to really kind of be okay with it. What eventually helps, and I feel like you're going to spend a while handling this. When I get the Temperance, I feel like you're trying to deal with it, but there's a lot of patience, a lot of just kind of mixing the energy, your energy with their energy, keeping them talking, keeping them thinking things out, reminding them, we're not making any decisions, I just need you to talk with me. Just talk with me. That's all you want from them, is to talk. It's going to move things forward. It's going to make the situation more malleable. They're going to work with you. They're going to have to go through this grieving process, is what I'm feeling, for whatever that means, however long that lasts. It's going to take a while. It really is going to take a while. What I'm getting from there, as they're moving out of that grieving process, they get the Queen of Swords. This is after they've accepted what they originally thought was going to happen. The direction they originally wanted to go is not going to be the situation. It's not going to go that way. They're accepting that. They're possibly working on accepting that. And they come towards you like proposing resolutions, proposing modes of action, proposing ways that they could live with this situation going next. Like proposing a direction to go and to work on that they can work with. This may be more of a negotiation phase. It may be one of those things where you're hearing them say something, not completely what you want, but good enough. And I feel like you might just give into it, realizing like, well, at least we're going to head somewhere with this. At least we're going to end up somewhere. At least we're going to get this moving. I feel you know exactly where this stands. Like if you agree to something like that, you know that's exactly where it's going to go. You see it for what it is. But I feel like that's where it's going next. I also see the Ten of Swords for you. Nope, the Ten of Wands, excuse me. The Ten of Wands are for you. I feel like that your partner's having a hard time with this. And I feel like you're taking on a lot of the responsibility here. Not that your partner's not willing to pick up their own side, but they seem like overstressed about where things are going now. You want it to just move forward. So you're just like, all right, I'll just do this, and I'll do this, and I'll suck up on that, I'll suck that up. Okay, it's fine. You seem to be taking a large brunt of the weight here. I don't see your partner really understanding or seeing that, really. I don't see them getting that. But I feel like you're just kind of, we need to just move this on. We need to just get through this part of life. I'd rather just let it be. I just feel like you don't want to hang out in this mode anymore. You just want it to be done. I'm getting that feeling. Like I just want to move on from this part of life. I'm just like, let's just get this decision done and get it moving. For that reason, you're just like, you're taking on this extra burden, the extra responsibility, because you're just like, we just got to get through it. We just got to get it done. And I feel like that's what you do. And that's how you move out of this. That's how you move out of this phase. That Ten of Wands is, you can handle it. I'm not even going to say that you can't. I'm not worried that it's going to be too much for you. I know you can handle it. I just feel like it's more than you'd really want to. But for the outcome, just to move on, you will. That's why I feel like you're doing. Just, we got to move it on. We got to get going. I don't want to sit here any longer. I don't want to keep negotiating this out anymore. I feel like that energy is coming through. Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to keep negotiating. We'll be here for days and days and days, going in circles and circles and circles. I'm just gonna go with it, and I'll suck up these pieces and so we can move on. I need to move on. No matter what the situation started out with, by the time you get there, you're just like, we just gotta solve this. We gotta wrap this up. I'm just over the whole situation. You will have a degree of frustration. I also feel you picking up this burden moves on that frustration. It kind of grounds it out. It gets you past it. I think that's it. We didn't get any oracle cards. No, the message is there. They're like, don't mess it up. Okay, so I'm not going to mess it up. Let's do Aquarius singles. Messages for Aquarius singles. What do we have for single Aquarians? What do we have for single Aquarians? Messages for single Aquarians. The truth about what's going on here. I'm getting shady character. What's that about? Over to the side, though. Let's keep going. Shady character over to the side. That's an interesting balance. Let's see where this goes. Shady character over to the side. The moon card is at the bottom. Shady character over to the side. It's almost somebody around one of you is really trying to get something going forward sooner than it should. Definitely there's like an antagonist or something. Is that what I want to say? A shady character over to the side. Somebody that's just trying to like get the popcorn popping so they have something to talk about. It seems like it's either around you or the other person. And it's a general read, so it could be both. I mean, I'm not going to negate that out. Mermaid magical seduction. The thing is, I feel like my first instinct with this whole part, there may be an actual connection here. Be careful about external influences, raining on the parade a bit. Because I feel like there's an actual good connection here, but like it's a shady character over to the side. Somebody's trying to be an antagonist or push things forward or make things happen, and it's really none of their business. The thing is, if it's not happening to you and it's happening to the other person, it's like, how much control do you really have to even see it, let alone do anything about it? Because I'm getting here, and I'm going to start with this. In the environment, the person you're going to end up dealing with, moving forward too quickly, too soon, has a lot of passion, but it's picking the fruit before it's ripe. Going forward too fast. I also feel like your connection with this person seems good. I'm getting the Ten of Cups. Now, either you're used to a calm, enjoyable life, or you're feeling when you're around this person, it's very easy, calm, enjoyable. I'm feeling good connections here. Stable, happy backgrounds. Like, this is where you're both heading. You both seem to be in the thought, and I don't know if this sounds odd or not, but it's almost like you're going into a situation or you're looking for a relationship to get along with someone. Not that you're opposed to arguing if necessary, but your first thought is, first stop is trying to talk it out. Second stop is trying to work it out. Only if absolutely necessary should arguing happen, but it shouldn't be first or second or even possibly third stop. It should be down the line a bit when just both sides are just not working together. You prefer to get along, both people, you and the other person prefer to get along with who they're dealing with. That's not always the case. Some people just they'll argue before anything else, and that's whatever that is. That works for some people. Doesn't work for me. But it works for some people, and that's their business. This person and you, I feel like if this is really hitting, when it comes to romance, it should be about getting along, working with each other first. Arguing, if has to be, if must be, will happen, but it should be way down the line of options. You've gone through these other options and just you know what, I've had it, it's not working, we're not working together, tried every way in the book, we're going to have to argue it out. Now, again, shady character over to the side. Somebody's pushing on this person or you. Somebody's getting a push to move things forward too quickly. And I feel it's more them, actually. I feel like it's more around them. Shady character over to the side. Because I feel them pushing in on you. But it's the direct influence from someone else. Getting them ramped up, getting them going. You should go. Don't let this slip by. Oh, they're gonna lose them if you don't move. Come on, get going. Better call them. Better show up at their house at midnight. Why not? Or show up at 8 a.m. Drop a bagel off to work at them. Because if you're just starting to know somebody, that's not fun in my opinion. But maybe you like that. I think that's creepy. But do what you gotta do. But somebody's pushing it too much. But it's a shady character over to the side, trying to get things going. It's almost like they want something to talk about. Somebody's getting them ramped up and going, picking the fruit too soon. The energy is too strong. Too strong. As it comes in, I got the Five of Swords with the Hierophant. You do like this person. And I'll give you why in a minute, but there's cards here reinforcing that. You like them. You want this to work out. I feel like the Five of Swords is if something weird happens right in the beginning, crossing a line, for example, they send you a bouquet of flowers at work, or they order you something for lunch and have it delivered to your place of work, something where you're not expecting it and you're just kind of I don't know if this is really cool with me. This seems a little bit much for this point in the relationship. I'm feeling you're letting it go with the Five of Swords. It's kind of I don't really like it, but, I'll let it be. And then I'm seeing the Hierophant here is I do feel you addressing it as well. I definitely feel you addressing it. But I'm seeing the Lover's card at the bottom with the Grace on its side. You prefer to get along. You prefer to be nice about it. But I feel whatever it was that crossed the line here a little bit for you, there's a thin line, you want to address it, you want to be nice about it, but you need them to comply with, if they sent you something at work and you didn't like it, whatever it was, that they don't have to, they just have to not do it again. They just have to not do it again and realize that that's not an option to not do that again. That's all you want. Just don't do that again. Don't do things like that again. Don't connect. Don't call me. Don't deal with me at work. Don't do that. For right now, we're outside of work or whatever. You're just setting rules. This is how it is. I don't feel like you're trying to make them agree with you. You're just just don't do it. I feel like that's the point. Just don't do it. And you're trying to be as graceful as possible, but there is a twinge of annoyance there. Grace is on its side. You're trying. I feel you trying. The top card here is the Devil card. Shady character to the side again. It just keeps coming in. There's pressure being put on this situation. I feel like it's external. I feel it's around the person who's interested in you. This is causing problems. I'm just afraid of what this is going to do. Let's just keep going because we're just acknowledging the Devil's there. The Devil card is affecting the situation. I'm getting as things go forward, I feel like you addressed the situation. It's somebody you actually do like, but you're like, no, that's not acceptable. We can't do that. I don't want that. I'm getting they fall completely back. Nothing happens for a few weeks after this. The Hanged Man. But creativity is here. Creativity is here, and I feel like you're both wondering what the other really wants at this point. Creativity is like there might be passive aggressive things going on here, like showing up where the other person is, more likely them, maybe you too, something like that. Putting like some people put Facebook posts that are very like to no one specific, but it's clearly about a certain person. One of those things. Somebody's doing that. Things like that, passive aggressive things, but nothing. That's what I'm getting with the creativity with the Hanged Man. Nothing is actually happening in this situation, but passive aggressive things seem to be coming out here. And I'm getting the Moon card is like, where is this going to go? Is this going to go forward or is it not? The Mermaid Magic Seduction is saying there is a good connection with this person. There is a good connection, but I feel like at this point you're worried that maybe that was just a quick thing and maybe there's nothing to be had. Maybe I just thought there was something here, but this just wasn't the match I thought it was. Questions, concerns not really coming out. There's a lack of communication at this point. That person over to the side, and I feel like it's around the other person, more than likely it's around the other person, it threw things off. Hopefully this is just a delay. Hopefully. Because you have the Eight of Cups here. I'm getting, and it's a minor arcana, keep that in mind. I feel like the two of you are just taking a break from each other for a little while. This may be something you revisit later down the road. Because ultimately, I do feel like you would like to go forward with this person. With the Chariot where you're standing, you did want to go forward with this person. You kind of still do, but I feel that the Chariot is just where you're standing. It's like explaining what you'd like, but it's not in an action position in this reading. It's where you're standing, like you're having those feelings, but I don't feel it actualizing at this point. I feel the two of you actually just kind of having a grace period where you're just not really talking, a lot of passive aggressive movement, and then it just kind of goes dormant. It just kind of like you both walk away from it for a while. If it comes back around at some point, I feel like a good conversation needs to be had. Trust needs to come into the situation. It feels like there's going to be a cooling off period. Just kind of like the situation got a bit much, taking a break. When it's suitable for both parties, I feel like coming back around, maybe like maybe July, I don't know. I'm getting the J month, like July, maybe January, I don't know. Some time passes as I bite my tongue. Trust has to come back into the situation. There's going to have to be some honest communication about what happened and why. And just like, so if feelings can be sorted out down the road, there is still a chance for this situation, but that's what's going to have to happen, and it's down the line a bit. It's down the line a bit. I think we're there. All right, I'm going to wrap that up here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.